Hello students, in this video we will discuss the assignment work questions of chapter 2. Let us start. Here answer the following questions. Rusting of iron is a chemical change, give reason. In the rusting, iron oxide is formed, therefore in the rusting, iron reacts with oxygen in presence of moisture and iron oxide is formed. That is why new chemical substance is formed whose properties are different from the pure iron. That is why it is a chemical reaction. That is why it is a chemical change. Now question number 2. Give an example of Tyndall effect in daily life. Its answer has been given on page number 42. Here at the page number 42 under the colloid section here, Tyndall effect can be observed when a beam of light enters a room through a small hole. This is your first example. And after that, Tyndall effect can also be observed when sunlight passes through the canopy of a dense forest. This is your second example. Now next question is what happens when a saturated solution is heated? It is obvious that when saturated solution is heated, its solubility increases. When saturated solution is heated, its solubility increases. Now next question. Name the process used for obtaining pure copper sulfate from the impure sample. Your answer will be to obtain pure copper sulfate from an impure sample, we can use crystallization. Fifth question, what is meant by the fractional column? Its answer has been given on page number 53. Let us see. Here at the page number 53, some information about the fractional column has been given. It is a tube packed with glass beads. The beads provide surface obstruction for the vapor to get cooled and condense rapidly. The condensed liquid mixture again distills. Thus, there is a repeated distillation. The fractional column is fitted over the mouth of a distillation flask. This is about the fractionating column. Here, question number 6. Can colloidal solution pass through filter paper? Answer is no. Colloidal solution cannot pass through the filter paper because their size is greater than 10 raised to the power. No, the colloidal solution cannot pass through the filter paper because the size of the particles of colloidal solution is greater than the size of the particles of true solution. After that, next question is, name the technique adopted for the separation of petroleum products from the mixture. To separate the petroleum products from the mixture, fractional distillation is used. Now next, why is crystallization better than the simple evaporation? Its answer has been given on page number 49. Let us see. Here at the page number 49, crystallization is a better technique than the evaporation. In evaporation process, solution is evaporated to dryness. Therefore, some solid may get decomposed. When sugar solution is evaporated to dryness, sugar may be charred. Moreover, the soluble impurities present in the impure sample do not get removed during the process of evaporation, but such impurities separate out along with the pure compound. This does not happen in the case of crystallization. In crystallization, the soluble impurities remain in concentrated solution, whereas the pure compound are separated out. This is your answer. Now here, next question is question number 9. Classify the following into the true solution, colloidal solution and suspension. Here, soap solution is true solution, cold drink true solution, sulfur in water is suspension, and gum is colloidal solution. Right? Now next question is 10A. Identify the following changes as physical or chemical. Tearing of sheet of paper. It is a physical change because no new substance is formed. Breakdown of water into the hydrogen and oxygen. In this, new substances from water that are hydrogen and oxygen are formed. Their properties are different from water. Therefore, it is a chemical change. Next question is differentiate between immiscible and miscible liquids. Its answer has been given on page number 51, but you can write the liquids which can mix are known as miscible liquids, and which cannot be mixed into the one another, then these are immiscible liquids. Miscible liquids can be separated by fractional distillation, while immiscible liquids can be separated by separating funnel. So by making columns, miscible liquids and immiscible liquids, you can write these 2 points. Now next question, suggest a suitable separation technique for the following. Here, mercury and water, separating funnel can be used. Colored component of the blue ink, chromatography can be used for this. Ammonium chloride and potassium chloride. Ammonium chloride is sublime, so here sublimation can be used. Mixture of alcohol and water. Here fractional distillation can be used. Mixture in separating alcohol and water, fractional distillation can be used. Write the 2 components of a colloidal solution. Give 2 examples of the colloidal solution. And the two component of colloidal solution are dispersion medium and dispersed phase. And 2 examples of colloidal solution are milk and ink. And here you can write something more about the colloidal solution components. Let us see. Here as a page number 41, 2 components of the colloidal solution has been given. Dispersion medium, the medium in which colloidal particles are dispersed is called dispersion medium. Dispersion medium is always present in larger amount. And second component is dispersed phase. The solute-like component or the colloidal particles which are dispersed in the solvent are called dispersed phase. Dispersed phase are always present in a smaller amount. These are the 2 components of colloidal solution. Okay, now next question is define the following terms, giving 1 example for each. Right? Here, pure substance, the substances which are made up of same kind of the particles are known as pure substance. For example, sugar, carbon dioxide, these all things are pure substances. And its definition has been given on page number 21. You can write it from there. Let us see. Here at the page number 29, a substance which is made up of only one kind of particles is called pure substance. This will be the definition. For example, copper. For example, you can say many types of the things are there. Sodium chloride, salt, water, carbon dioxide, these all the things are pure substances. Now next is solution. Solution is what? Homogeneous mixture is known as solution. Right? It has been given on page number 31. You can write it from there. Here the definition of solution has been given at the page number 31. A solution is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances. For example, when you dissolve sugar into the water, the solution is formed. Or when you dissolve salt into the water, the solution is formed. It means the solution of sugar and water, and your second example is the solution of salt and water. Now next thing is Tyndall effect, which has been given on page number 42. You can write it from there. Here this is the definition of Tyndall effect. A scattering of light by the colloidal solution is called Tyndall effect. Okay, some examples are Tyndall effect can be observed when a beam of light enters a room through a small hole. Right, this is an example, daily life example. After that you can write here Tyndall effect can also be observed when sunlight passes through the canopy of the dense forest. These are some examples of Tyndall effect. Okay, now next question is what would you observe when saturated solution of potassium nitrate prepared at 50 degree is allowed to cool at room temperature? It means when the solution is saturated at 50 degree and allowed to cool, what will happen? Its solubility will be decreased. That is why dissolved potassium nitrate will be accumulated as the crystals at the bottom of the dish, right? So here the answer will be crystals of potassium nitrate will be formed. Okay, when saturated solution of potassium nitrate prepared at 50 degree Celsius is allowed to cool at room temperature, the crystals of potassium nitrate will be formed. Now next is an aqueous solution of sugar is heated to dryness. When aqueous solution of sugar is heated to dryness, the water will be evaporated and the sugar will be left at the remains, right, in the dish, right? When aqueous solution of sugar is heated to dryness, the water will be evaporated and sugar will be left as the remains in the dish, right? Now next is C. A glass rod dipped in ammonium hydroxide is brought near the rod dipped in concentrate hydrochloric acid. Then what will happen? Ammonium hydroxide will react with HCl and white fumes of ammonium chloride will be formed. So your answer will be white fumes of ammonium chloride will be formed. Now next question is 15. Mention any three properties of colloids. The properties have been given on the page number 41. Let us see. Here at the page number 41, properties of colloid solutions has been given. 1, 2, 3. You will write these three. First is heterogeneous character. The particles of colloids are uniformly spread throughout the solution. The mixture appears to be homogeneous. It is due to the relatively small size of the colloidal particles, but actually the colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture, right? Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture. The two phases present in colloidal solution are called dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Now second point is size of the colloidal particles. The size of the particles decrease in the order of suspension, colloidal particles and true solution. It means the particles of suspension are largest and the colloidal particles size are less than the size of the particle size of the suspension, and it is greater than the particle size of the true solution. Now the size of the colloidal particles is between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. This is 10 raised to the power minus 9 meter to 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter. This is the range of the colloidal particles, the particles of the colloidal solution. Now here visibility. Because of the small size of the colloidal particles, we cannot see them by naked eyes, but it is difficult to see the colloidal particles even with a microscope. It means we cannot see the particles in naked eye, right? These are the 3 points that you can write. Now next question is, using a flow chart, show the process of obtaining different gases from the air. This is at page number 55. Let us see. Here this is a flow chart by which separation of the gases from the air can be done. Air is compressed, compression and cooling is done, liquid air is obtained, allowed to warm up, it means fractional distillation of this is done, and then boils for this nitrogen, boil second, then boil third, right? And this is how all the component of the major component of the gases are obtained, right? Draw this flow chart. Now next question is, what separation technique will you apply for the separation of the following? Let us see. Sodium chloride from its solution in water. It means sodium chloride and water are mixed to form the solution, and this can be done. These can be separated by using 2 techniques. If you don't want the water to store, you can use the evaporation F, and if you want to separate to store water and sodium chloride both, then you can use distillation process. So here you can write anything, evaporation and distillation both. You can write any of these things. Now tea leaves from tea, this can be done by filtration. This can be separated by filtration. Iron pins from the sand. In this, magnetic property will be used, therefore magnetic separation method will be used here. Different pigments from an extract of leaves. These can be separated by using the chromatography. After that, here butter from the curd. Butter from the curd can be separated by centrifugation. Now next, fine mud particles suspended in water. These can be separated by sedimentation method, sedimentation and decantation process. Now next question is, when do we use the process of centrifugation? State the principle involved in the process. List its any 2 application in our daily life. It has been given on page number 47 and 48. Let us see. Here are the page number 47. This is use of the centrifugation. Centrifugation method of separation is used when the suspended particles are very tiny or are small in colloidal form. Now here what is the principle of centrifugation? When the mixture is rotated with high speed, the constituents or the components of the colloidal solution or the mixtures are separated and form the layers in the test tube according to their densities in increasing order from top to bottom in the test tube, right? It means, what should be your principle? When the test tube filled with the mixture is rotated with high speed, the components of the mixture are separated and form the layer in the test tube according to their densities in increasing order from top to bottom in the test tube. It means what? When the mixture is rotated, the heaviest substance which is present in the mixture will be at the top of the test tube, will be accumulated at the bottom of the test tube, and lighter, the substance which is lighter than this will form the above layer. Then the next lighter substance will make the next layer. Likewise this happen, and at the top the substance with least density form the layer. So this is how the components are separated. The suspended particles settle down in the bottom of the test tube. The clear solutions remain on the top. In this, only two substances have been taken, in which one is very light and another is with high density. But here I am talking about when many components are there, they will form many layers. Okay, so this is the principle of the centrifugation. When the mixture is rotated with high speed, the substance will the components of the mixture will form the different layers in the test tube according to their densities. The lightest substance will form the top layer, and the heaviest substance will form the bottom, last layer of the test tube, and this will at the bottom of the test tube, right? This will according by this all the constituents, all the components which are mixed in the colloidal solution will be separated. Now here at the page number 48, applications of centrifugation have been given. There are three applications which have been given. It is used in diagnostic laboratories for blood and urine tests. It is used in dairies and at home to separate butter from cream. Cream is churned in the centrifuging machine or in a milk churner. Butter separates out. Now third one is it is used in washing machines to squeeze out water from the wet clothes. You can write any of two from these. Now next question is, compare in tabular form properties of solid, liquid and gases with respect to shape, volume, compressibility, diffusion, fluidity or rigidity. The answer of this has been given on page number 10. Let us see. Here at the page number 10, this table is this is the table where properties of solid, liquid and gas have been explained, and these are the points: shape, volume, compressibility, fluidity and diffusion. These are the 5 points according to which you have to make the table in your answer. You can take all the things from here. Now the B portion of the question is, with the help of label diagram describe in brief the activity to show sublimation of ammonium chloride. Its answer has been given on page number 17. Here the activity is this. You can see this activity at the page number 17. You can write this activity with diagram. So this is your answer, right? You will write the heading activity. After that you will write this object to show activity to show the process of sublimation experimentally, and after that you will write all these things, including conclusion. Up to the conclusion you will write up to the conclusion. Now question number 20. A. Draw a flow diagram to show the process of obtaining constituent gases from air. You have already do this in question number. You have already done this in the question number 16. So don't do this question. You will write B and C. Which gas of air condensed first and why? Oxygen gas condensed first because we have to cool it. We have to cool it less than the other gas. Its boiling point is minus 183, so it will be condensed first. Question number C. Differentiate between simple distillation and fractional distillation. So let us see. Here you can write at least 4 points to differentiate between this simple distillation and fractional distillation. You will make the column simple distillation and fractional distillation. You will write first one. Generally, simple distillation is used to separate solid liquid components of a solution. Right? It means when the simple distillation is used generally to separate the components of the solution which are in which solid is solid and solvent is liquid. But sometimes when difference in the boiling points is very much, then liquid solution can be also separated. And here in fractional distillation, this is generally used to separate the components of liquid solutions. It means in which solute and solvent both are liquids generally. Now second point, the simple distillation is based on volatile and non-volatile nature of the component. It means if solute must be non-volatile and solvent must be volatile. But here it is only based on the volatile nature of the liquids. It means based on boiling point of the components. Now here fractional distillation in simple distillation, fractionating column is not used. In simple distillation, fractionating column is not used, but in fractional distillation, fractionating column is used. In simple distillation, fractionating column is not used. In fractional distillation, fractionating column is used. Now, simple distillation cannot be used when difference between boiling points of two liquids is small, right? If sometimes you take the liquids you want to separate, then you cannot those type of the liquids which have in which the difference between their boiling point is very less. It should be very large. But here fractional distillation can be used when the difference it can be used fractional distillation can be used when the difference between the boiling points is less, but there is a limit. It should be not less than 10 Kelvin to 20 Kelvin. The difference between the boiling points of the components should be more than 10 to 20 Kelvin. So these are 4 points that you can write as a difference between the simple distillation and fractional distillation. So this is all about the assignment work.